Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 296. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what's going on? How are you?
Not much. You're gone for a week and you forget to put the microphone in front of you when you come back.
It's recording 101, not even podcasting, recording
No,
101.
just recording 101. I am so out of practice.
That's all right. You're only off a week. So
clearly that's enough. After 295 episodes and now 296, like taking off a week just means forgetting everything.
Welcome to my world.
It's called dementia.
So first, I can't wait. First and foremost, we want to thank Felix from Flexo Production last week for sitting in.
Yes, Felix, thank you very, very much. I'm really grateful that you were able to sit in for me on a last-minute basis as well. So you're a good person.
He is. He's always happy to join. He's a good guy.
And I'm sorry I wasn't there to talk PlayStation 2 memories. I swear one day the three of us will be on the show together because I have not been on the show with Felix yet.
No, not yet. No. But no, we will. Yeah, we had a really good time. It was a good, for a system like the PlayStation 2, sometimes you forget how amazing it was.
Actually, that's the one where I think that nobody forgets how amazing it was. Like I think the ones you usually forget are like Dreamcast or there's like a resurgence on GameCube, but like PlayStation 2 to me, like that's like one of the best systems ever.
Well, no, agree. But when I say like you forget, I meaning it's awesome, but just like how awesome it is.
Yeah.
It's just so, but very cool. Yeah, so Felix definitely will be back around again. And Ant, this is the first time you're seeing it after 2.5 years. Look what's back.
Yes, welcome back to your space.
Oh, and it also looks a lot better on Zoom than it does on Skype, I'll tell you that much.
No, it definitely looks, it's nice and clear, and I do remember the background from yesteryear.
A little different, a little updated.
It's a little bit different. I see a couple of things. Mostly over your right shoulder at the top on the top shelf, a couple of things that may have changed. Yeah, right there.
Right there. Yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, the picture.
It's Christy Hemme.
Mm-hmm.
I found that in a deck of cards somewhere.
R.I.P.
No, she's still alive. You're thinking of Ashley Mazzaro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
who I met at a show, got her autograph, and forgot to pay her.
Yes.
So, and then she unfortunately died not that long thereafter.
Right, and you shall feel guilty for the rest of your life.
Yes, Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, who I did the same thing to. I do not feel guilty because she was a witch on wheels.
We've had that conversation before.
So we're back. We had a good week here as far as announcements and news drops, which really we might as well just get right into it. There's really no
yeah, we will. We're gonna go a little. We're mostly gonna be a bit modern today because of the announcements this week. Because Sony had a state of play, Nintendo had a direct, and then just a quick touch on. I know you talked about it last week. Very happy 45th retro birthday to the Atari 2600. I'm sorry I missed that. I have a lot of fond memories playing the Atari 2600. So
I got my Retron 77. I was playing some games. So
very nice.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah, and then and
we're good.
We're good. There's the voice in the background is I have a guest here.
Awesome. There might be an edit. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
We'll see. We might just leave that one in.
Oh, I'm fine by that.
So anyway, so going a bit modern this week, and we're gonna kick it off with Sony State of Play.
Do it.
I don't remember which day this was on.
Actually,
that's the kind of week I've had. It was the same day as Nintendo Direct. Was it Tuesday?
Which I believe was Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So last Tuesday, Sony had their State of Play, and it was I want to say a modest update, but it was I don't even think it was a modest update. It was just kind of like a hey, here's some stuff.
I've always felt that the PlayStation, the State of Play, you're right, it's always a literal handful of games just to be like, hey, these are like the 5 games that we're working on right now, or like are getting ready to launch.
Yeah.
We'll save everything else as the time goes on, because there's definitely more State of Plays, I think, than Nintendo Directs.
Yes.
I'm not going to say monthly, but
yeah, they do come out more frequently, so they are like they're just smaller, digestible, I guess.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Get that indigestion.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like Nintendo Direct like offers you a smorgasbord of stuff. Here's a here's a ton of crap, you know. So anyway, jumping into state of play, I thought what I would start with, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that they announced.
Mhm.
I'm going to start first with updates and then go into new stuff.
Okay, go for it.
So updates were pretty much there was a new trailer for God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh,
So I mean, this isn't that hard to figure out because we've already seen trailers for it. And if you're a God of War fan, this one's a no-brainer. So it's coming out in November on PlayStation 4 and 5. They gave a new they threw out a new trailer. They're calling it a story trailer, so I guess you get a little bit more of the story in this one. So so if God of War is your bag, you can go check that out. And then the other thing they announced in conjunction with this
I
trailer,
thought was cool. I saw
yeah, this. So you can get a God of War Ragnarok controller. So they're going to be releasing that as well on November 9th. It's a PS5 DualSense controller. Looks really, really cool. It's got some icons from Ragnarok on it, or God of War on it. It's got like a blue and white configuration. I like the design. Yeah. The design is really, really cool.
Now I wonder if I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, especially because like I would, the one thing I was not a fan of the PlayStation 5 when I got it, I don't like the white. I don't like the white, the white shell, the white controller, because they get, they just get dirty really easily.
No, you're right.
They just get worn really easily. So so I actually bought a black controller and I bought the black shell for my PS5.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I actually did that because I could. Yeah, I got tired of friggin' like, oh look, there's another smudge. There's another smudge, and I'm not even touch. It's not like I go up to my PlayStation all the time and touch it. I go because all you gotta do is hit a button on the controller to turn it on.
I love you, PlayStation. Yeah,
exactly.
I love you.
I smudged it.
Get out of my room. I'm playing with my PlayStation. No, but I hear what you're talking about, especially with like first of all, except for like the first PlayStation, 2, 3, and 4 were all black. Yeah. And then all of a sudden here comes this white shell. I mean, yes, they had some systems had various colors, but I'm talking about like the main releases.
Right.
And even the first one was great. But I hear what you're talking about. Same thing with cars. You talk about people who buy like a white car versus a black car. White cars get dirtier or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. But this controller though, yeah, I love the hue on it. I love the design. I wonder, because I think PS5 just put like a new version of their controller or something like that. So I'm guessing this is probably that.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. They released. No, I thought they just released
like a high end.
They released, I thought, new colors.
Definitely colors.
I don't know if they came out with a new.
I gotta look into it.
Yeah, they might have.
I do not have a PS5.
No, you do not. No, you are behind the 8 ball, Larry.
Apparently, I'm gonna need a new wing to get the PS5. So,
well, you know what? But now that you're back in your space, you should be able to make space.
This is true. You would think.
Yeah, just get rid of that whole top shelf up there.
How dare you, sir? These are empty.
Beer cans and Red Bulls and $1 million belts.
That's awesome. Hey, please, you should see the new. Oh wait, never mind. Some people might be listening.
No, that's a whole different show. So anyway, so the God of War controller looks really, really cool. And to be honest with you, I've never played a God of War game.
Really? None of them?
Never played the God of War game. Always been on my list to play. Again, it's one of those ones where it's like I want to play them and I just haven't gotten to it. I know it's been 20 years since the first one probably came out.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I still haven't gotten around to it.
Well, lucky for you, they are on the PlayStation Plus thingamajiggy.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, I have them.
So
like it was.
You have them anyway?
No, like it was a free PlayStation game at one point, and I think I bought. And I actually think I bought a physical copy at one point as like a greatest hits.
I played. I think I played the first 3. Mm-hmm. And the 1 or 2 of them that were on the PSP. The PSP ones are actually really good.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think they're also available on the network. Nice. I own God of War for PS4, but I didn't get into it. I don't know. I just didn't. It was just a situation. I think because the Switch came out. I love the Switch, so I've been all about the Switch.
No, you're all up in the Switch.
Oh, here we go with Nintendo. All right, what else?
No, you are.
I am, and I like it. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, I've noticed like it's interesting. Yeah, that's a topic for another show. But like I've noticed like as I've gotten older, it's like I keep steering towards like one console, and I'm like, why is that? I go, it
Me
used to
too.
go all over the place.
Yep.
I was like, now I'm like, just like, no, it must be PlayStation. I'm like, why? I was like, I don't understand that, especially since I just bought something else, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, truly.
Anyway, we're also starting to switch places. I've noticed too, in terms of who's becoming spendthrifty.
Oh, thank God. Yes. Well, there's a reason because I have to stop.
And I don't. All right. So anyway, let's move on. So we got God of War Ragnarok. Okay. So new trailer coming out in November. Interesting update here. Hogwarts Legacy, which is coming out next year. They showed a video of an exclusive quest that you can do on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 only. It's exclusive to the two. Let me see if I can get the name of it. It's called the Haunted Hogsmeade Shop. So I guess you buy a shop in Hogsmeade and some crazy stuff happens and you have to, you play through it.
Oh, I misread into that. I thought there was going to be an exclusive quest on the PS4 and then a different exclusive quest on the PS5.
No.
Oh.
No, it's the same quest on PS4 and 5. But yeah, you can only do this quest on PlayStation.
That's cool.
So they released a trailer for it. Looks interesting. This is going to be one of those weird like this looks like a huge like open world kind of game to me. It's going to be very massive. So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, you're a Potter fan, right?
I'm a big Potter fan. I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the books and the movies for the most part. Not everything is perfect, of course. But the game looks interesting.
Cool.
All right, moving on to this is interesting. There's this whole series in Japan on the PlayStation called the Yakuza series. Okay. And they've been released here. You can play them online. Actually, a friend of mine that I play online with is obsessed with the Yakuza series. There are like a ton of games. There is a spin-off game from the Yakuza series called Like a Dragon Ishin. It was first released in 2014 on PS3, PS4, but it was never released in North America. So now Sony State of Play announced on Tuesday that they're gonna, for the first time ever, this game is getting a North American release. So if you like the Yakuza series and you haven't been able to play Like a Dragon Ishin, you're now going to get a chance to, or Ishin, I don't know which way to say it.
Ishin, yeah, I think it's Ishin.
Yeah. You'll be able to play it when it releases. I believe it's next year.
February.
Yeah, so February
right around the corner. Yeah, this
Hogwarts Legacy is also February of next year. So there's a bunch of stuff coming out next year. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have for the updates? Couple of PSVR 2 updates. First one is Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which was originally released on the Oculus Quest in 2020. So they're bringing that to the PSVR 2 next year. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, you haven't played Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, you'll have an opportunity in VR next year. So, and who doesn't want to be in the Star Wars universe in VR?
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the one that I have? Rogue Squadrons.
Yes,
Rogue Squadrons, where you're an X-wing wait, X-wing? Yeah, TIE fighter.
TIE fighter.
Whatever the heck it is.
One of the two. I'm not.
Can you tell I'm a huge Star Wars fan?
There's a lot of people screaming at their stereos and their phones right now. We are not huge. We respect Star Wars, but trust me, we are not deep into the lore of Star Wars. So look, don't get us on that.
And some of us like 3 out of the 9 movies.
I enjoy. Well, okay, yeah, no, there's probably a good 3, and I'm not even and I don't even think it's a 3 in one trilogy. Like, unfortunately, it's kind of jumping around a little bit.
No, so I like exactly one. Wait, is it 3 out of? No, I'm sorry, it's 3 out of 10.
Well, no, there's 9 in the main storyline.
Then there's the Rogue One.
Well, there was Rogue One. There was Solo.
Well, no, but Rogue One was like Star Wars, like 3.5.
It was. It bridged episode 3 to episode 4, and I still think Rogue One is the best out of all of them.
Actually, yeah, like
period. Yeah.
Rogue One is the best new Star Wars movie they've done.
It was,
since
yeah.
Disney took it over.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
anyway, but not that we want to go off on a Star Wars tangent. Please no, I will screw all of that up. Like Ewoks and Chewbacca should be cousins.
Nanu.
Yeah. Okay, now we're completely off. Anyway, please just send me to Mordor. So the other announcement for PSVR 2, and this one I'm actually really excited about because I did not know about this game. I just did not know about this game because I'm just now getting into Steam. And I'm starting to really explore PC games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why either, but no, over the last year,
I agree with you. In all honesty, yeah.
Over the last year, I've been looking at Steam more, and I've been buying stuff from Steam, and some of it's retro, like things I used to play on PC. But now I'm starting to buy new stuff. But
a lot of it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like that's the reason why I keep buying them because I keep seeing sales, and I'm like, well, it's like $2. It's like $2 to buy. It's $2 to buy this game that I've like been interested in for a very long time. So I'm like, I might as well drop the $2.
Yeah, honestly.
So anyway, the game is called. This one is called. I don't know how to say it correctly. It's either Demio or Demio. It's like Demi Moore, right? Is it Demi? Is it Demi? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't care.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, exactly. So Demio is coming to PSVR 2 in 2023. And what's really cool about this is it's a 4-player tabletop RPG. So you're actually playing the tabletop RPG in VR. Just the idea of this sounds so cool to me because I'm a big, I was a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan growing up. I really don't have time to put the effort in to play it as an adult. I just don't. I don't have time to.
No, I hear you.
But just being able to do a tabletop RPG and do that in VR and play it with friends like that, I go, that's kind of cool. I go, it's like sitting around a table again, but we can't because I'm 3,000 miles away.
Again, this is I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. This game, I saw the trailer. It looks awesome. But again, it's another step towards Wall-E. It's another step towards the first step was the pandemic. The second step is now tabletop VR games.
Yeah. Well, clearly you've never been to boardgamearena.com where you can literally play like over 100 board games.
Really?
Just online with your friends.
Okay, I honestly did not know that, and now we have to do it.
Yeah, during the pandemic, my friends and I, that's what we did.
I never even heard of this.
Half of the physical board games I own are on Board Game Arena. So we would so I'm like, why do I have these now? We just sign on. Yeah, and then we play there.
Does it include that one board game you brought over that time that took literally an hour to set up and like, you know what, we're done?
No.
Some haunted mansion game or something.
That was a Mansions of Madness, and the reason why that did not work is because I had no idea that was essentially like playing Dungeons and Dragons. It is. It's like you need to plan to play that game.
We're sitting on the couch watching TV, and you're still halfway through setting up the game. Like, this may not work this week.
No, I think by the time I had it set up, it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, this is bad. This is just bad.
But no, this looks really cool. Demio.
Yeah. Demio just looks really fun. I don't know if anybody out there has played it before, but looks really interesting. I'm excited to give it a try, whether I get it on Steam now or if I just wait for the PSVR 2. Probably I'll wait for the PSVR 2.
Yeah, why not?
Unless it's like $2 on Steam. Then I'll just skip them. All right, so that's it for the updates. Now let's get into some of the new stuff. There's one other announcement, Larry, I'm curious to get your thoughts on, and I'm going to save that to the end. But let's go into the new games. First one is called Rise of the Ronin, coming out in 2024. Again, Ronin, Japanese warriors from, I don't know which century they're from, but
some century.
Yeah, they're from a century of long ago, in a galaxy far. Oh wait, I'm mixing stuff up again. Sorry. But Rise of the Ronin looks really, really cool. It gave me a Ghost of Tsushima kind of feel.
Okay.
And I loved Ghost of Tsushima.
You did.
So anybody out there, if you're fans of that game, take a look at the trailer for Rise of the Ronin. Again, there's some time before this is not coming out till 2024, so it's in early stages of development. We'll see what happens with that. Second one that they announced was Pacific Drive.
This looks interesting.
Yeah, this looks really interesting. It's the debut game from a new studio called Ironwood Studios.
Okay.
And it mixes first-person exploration with car driving, driving
The-
a car through like this
yeah.
really weird dystopian world. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. I'll be honest with you.
Neither do I. First and foremost, the car reminds me of the Griswolds,
Nice,
because
as it
that's
should
what the
be.
car looks like. Yeah. So that's all I'm picturing is Clark Griswold behind the wheel, and you're chasing down what's your face in the Camaro.
How funny would it be? They should get like Chevy Chase to
Can you
do the
imagine?
voice.
No, but this looks really interesting. Not too much information as far as the story is concerned, other than yeah, it's just some dystopian, post-apocalyptic. I don't know what the difference
Mhm.
is of driving around in a station wagon. But it does look very cool, so I'm looking forward to it. Pacific Drive. I wonder if it'll have anything to do with Pacific Rim.
Might. I mean, you never know because there's definitely some weirdness to it. But
Yeah, right.
it's yeah. I wasn't exactly sure. It was probably the most confusing
I
trailer
would
that
say,
they put
yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah. As far as because just lack of information and nothing bad, just more information will come out later.
Yeah, nothing bad. We just need to know a little bit more about it
Yep.
before we can
Yeah.
figure out whether we like it or not.
Cool.
Another game coming out. They had originally called it Project Eve. It has now been
Hmm.
given a title. And no, Larry, it is not a sequel to Parasite Eve.
I thought it was a remake to Parasite Eve.
Or
To
a
be fair.
remake of the Parasite
Yeah.
Eve, whatever it is. But the game has been the title has been changed. It is now called Stellar Blade.
Okay.
Again, looks a little dystopian. The
Hmm.
trailer is really solid.
Yes.
By the way, a lot of the trailers are in Japanese.
Well, yeah. I guess you just haven't translated it yet,
I
so
haven't
or
translated it
recorded.
yet, but right. But Stellar Blade looks really cool. Also, played in my mind when I was watching it, reminded me of the Final Fantasy VII remake with the way that it
Yes.
plays.
You know what? I couldn't put my finger on something like that, but you're right. That's
Yeah,
the game. Yeah.
yeah, and if it runs anything like that, because I thought Final Fantasy VII remake was beautiful, not because I'm
Hmm.
biased, but I just thought the way that they put it together and the gameplay was really good. So this one is on my radar now too. Got a couple more. Another one called Sin Duality. Did you look at this one?
This one, unfortunately, I missed.
Okay.
So hit me with it.
So it's a again third person adventure, but
Oh, I'm
it's
in.
robot combat.
Oh, I'm really in now.
Yeah, robot combat. It's actually really cool. It's like one of those like a mech warrior thing where the main
Ooh.
character gets in the big
Yeah.
mech robot thing, and you're running around the world in the robot machine, and you're battling other things. It looks really fun,
Cool.
especially if you like those types of games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's due to come out on the PS5 but next year. By the way, like some of these are PS5 only, Larry, so you may have to upgrade.
Which look, finally, not for
Yeah.
nothing. Like
Mhm.
now
I
it's
know.
so now, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, you were waiting for a reason. Like, in other words, you needed a good enough library to justify the PS5.
5 years ago, I did not need that reason.
Yeah,
Now I do.
yeah, yeah. You know what it's called? Budget conscious.
Budget awareness.
Or budget awareness, whatever way you want
Budget
to do it.
have no other turn to go to.
Yep. And then the last game I wanted to touch
Mm,
on, which is obviously the biggest announcement from State
yep.
of Play, and they gave the first preview for Tekken 8, and that preview was like it's like watching a movie.
Look, the Tekken show, the Tekken anime dropped on Netflix a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
This actually looks better than that, but the Tekken anime is awesome.
Yeah.
But yes, Tekken 8, and I'm not big into fighters. Short of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
But if I had to pick a third series, it would be Tekken. Not even Soul Calibur. That's a very close fourth.
Oh wow. Okay.
But Tekken, yeah. But yeah, Tekken 8 just looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look, it is what it is. It's a fighting game, and it's going to look very, very good on the PS5.
Yeah. And I'll say flat out, I've never gotten into the Tekken series at all.
Hmm.
But this one made me like this one kind of opened my eyes a little bit where I'm like, ooh, I was like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one for sure. Because I know Tekken's a huge franchise.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely.
huge franchise, very successful. It just has not I haven't crossed paths with it.
Fair enough.
So I'm looking forward to that. And that's it for the new games. So they announced 5 new games, 5 updates. Again, very, so kind of updates. The last thing they updated, I'm curious to get your thoughts on,
All right.
like I said earlier. They announced the new PlayStation Stars program.
I saw this.
So basically, from my understanding on the trailer, is that they're gonna you're gonna have, like, I don't want to say missions, but they're gonna be objectives. That's what it is. There are objectives that you need to do when you're playing on your PlayStation. And when you achieve those objectives, you earn digital collectibles from Sony's history.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be you earned, a PS2 console, or or a specific game. They're just going to have all these digital collectibles that you can get if you achieve these objectives. A lot of people are talking, though, that if this is going to be like PlayStation's version of like earning NFTs of
I
some
mean, that's
kind. It's a weird kind of, yeah, like it's just a weird kind of thing. To me, it just sounds like what other games do, where it's like,
mhm.
oh, you do certain things in the game and you unlock this for your museum or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So not 100% sure if this is going like an NFT-esque route, or if it's just a flat out digital collectible thing. I guess we'll find out more information. It was a very short announcement. So
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't wrapped my head around NFTs, but I mean, I know what they are at this point.
yeah.
But I think it's just it's like same thing that Nintendo has right now. You know, Nintendo has kind of like those kind of missions that you do each month to earn platinum points, which can be, if you earn enough of them, you can get stuff from the exclusives from the Nintendo store, or you
Yeah.
can trade them in maybe back in the day you can actually trade them in for games.
Mhm.
Same thing on Xbox. Xbox does like and I'm not talking the achievements on Xbox or the trophies on PlayStation. This is something different. It's totally free to
Yep.
be a part of. Microsoft kind of has it too. It might not Xbox, but Microsoft. Like if you search Bing, I don't know, 5 times a day, you earn points, and
Mhm.
you earn all these points to the point where those you can redeem. I've actually gotten like $10 coupons that I've used on Xbox
Mm.
to buy games. So I think it's just Sony now getting into that, and it just gives like another layer to play the game. All right, so now you play the game to play the game.
Mhm.
Then you play the game to get the trophies, which I'm not really big into that, and I'm not really big into the achievements on Xbox. When they happen, they happen. That's cool.
Mhm.
And now it's like, all right, now let's do some of these missions to get, like I don't know what they're going to call. They're going to have a name for them that's not NFT,
Right.
but yeah, like these little. You know what it reminds me of actually? Super Smash
TFTs.
Brothers. Yes, Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Where like in the series you earn like the little like collectibles in the game.
Yep.
That's essentially what it is. So
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too.
yeah,
But
that's
I'm sure they'll unveil more information about that as it goes along.
yeah, of
But
course. So
and that wraps up basically Sony State of Play.
alrighty. All right, so we're actually trying something new here. We did it last week. Maybe not everyone was aware of it, but we're really going to try and take advantage of our Twitter
Mhm.
moving forward. There's something called Twitter Space, which
Yes.
everyone can be a part of. It's essentially the podcast, just audio only, and it's live, pal. So every now and again, either myself or Anthony or both of us we'll hop on to Twitter Space. If we did one for the Nintendo Direct. Kind of immediate reactions, and you can listen along. I believe you can comment on it. It's still early for us to learn how to use it, but definitely check us out on Twitter now, because we're going to be taking advantage more of these Twitter Spaces. So definitely follow us, put the notifications on. And in fact, Ann, where can they find us?
Oh, well, it's funny you asked that. You guys can find us on Facebook.com/Retro Gamers Podcast, on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod, which is where our live Twitter space would be. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also email us if you want to contact us. Email at theretrogamers.com.
All right. Well, Sony and State of Play definitely brought it. But as we mentioned earlier, there was another YouTube presentation from Nintendo on that same day, which they are definitely working on more than a handful of games.
They definitely are. And everybody in the world except for the UK heard this news on Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they did not. Nintendo did not go live in the UK because of the Queen's passing.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, they got
out of respect for the Queen, who, by the way, used to play the Nintendo Wii. they opted not to.
The one that people tried to send her golden Wii.
When was that THQ that
I
tried to
think it
send her?
was.
Yeah,
Yes.
THQ tried to send her a golden Wii. Yes, yeah, it did come out that she actually did play Wii and enjoyed Wii bowling.
Well, there you go. See.
You know,
Well,
not bad for an 81-year-old at the time.
at the time, yeah. All right. So, well, everywhere else in the world got the Nintendo Direct September 2022 edition. And my oh my, there's a lot of games that Nintendo are working on. We're going to try and focus here a little bit on a lot of the remakes, the remasters, and some of the big news on them. But first, I'm just going to name off some of the games, just so some people are aware if you missed it. We're not deep diving into this, just to mention some of the games that are going to be coming out for the Switch. Fire Emblem, Engage. It Takes Two, which is a really fun co-op game on the PlayStation.
Yep.
Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
That was exciting to me. I've always wanted to play that series.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Expansion Pass Wave 2. SpongeBob SquarePants. Fitness Boxing, Fists of the North Star. All right, I'm not naming all of them, but I'll name the big ones then before we deep dive. Splatoon 3, Splatfest is coming out, so it's going to be fun. Octopath Traveler 2. I still want to play the first one.
That was a great announcement. I'm excited about that one.
A game called Factorio, which I looked at. That game looks awesome.
Yes.
It's a management game, management sim.
Yes, our resident tech whiz Jack actually is very excited about that one.
Free update to Mario Strikers Battle League. Free update to the Nintendo Sports Switch. Golf is going to be coming out soon on that one. Bayonetta 3, of course. Pikmin 4. And a bunch of other games. Some sequel or something that's coming out. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Yeah. But
you mean the highlight of the Nintendo Direct?
Yeah. You know, tomato. Some of the games though, I want to mention.
That is what you are. Yes.
During the summertime, yes, I do look like a big tomato. When I'm sunburns. Some games I'm looking forward to. First of all, and these are again remakes, remasters, whatnots. Excited to hear that Front Mission First and Second are going to be coming out very soon. Front Mission First coming out on the Switch this year. Front Mission 2 dropping next year. And they announced that they're remaking Front Mission 3 for the Switch. This is very, like, again, mech gaming that has that gameplay of tactics, a tactical gameplay like Shining Force.
I love those tactical games.
I'm pretty sure I have Front Mission on PlayStation 2. I gotta check out which one. Announced, even though I feel like we just got them recently, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Wave 3 is coming out.
I thought that was a quick announcement too.
It is a quick turnaround. I mean, there's going to be, they announced, they said there was going to be 8 waves, right? Or 12? I forgot how many waves.
No, I thought
maybe
6.
Or 6. Well, it's got to get us...
6 waves, 8 tracks in each for an additional 48.
Yes,
tracks.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, we got to get to the end of 2023, so because that's when they're coming out.
Yeah.
And the 2 tracks that we saw was a Christmas themed track from Mario Kart Tour.
Yes.
And a Peach's Castle track from Mario Kart DS.
Yeah, they both look really cool. The ones that they announced so far, again, like I've never played Tour or any of the handheld Mario Kart, so any of those tracks coming out on Mario Kart 8, I'm excited about.
Yes, very much. Nintendo again is Nintendo. It's a small system. There's not much room in there, especially for heavily graphic games. But we're getting getting 4 Resident Evil games, but the ever controversial cloud versions.
Yes,
of them. Yeah, and we have our thoughts about it. First of all, it's going to be Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil Biohazard, and then the remakes of, I believe, 2 and 3. If not 1 and 2. I think it's 2 and 3.
Okay.
That one I got to double check. And again, with these cloud situations, look, you're going to be subjected to the type of internet that you have, the speed that you have for the internet. But again, I've played a couple of them, short of one game that really didn't work too well on the cloud. I haven't had any issues. Again, these are demos that I'm playing. Like I did the demo for Kingdom Hearts on Switch, which is total cloud version. So again, though, I mean, if you're on the road, it's going to be a little tough, but it's 2022. And at some point, we're gonna have to maybe accept our fate as far as technology.
No, and I agree with that. As long as you have a strong, as long as you have a good enough internet, and let's face it, not everybody has the best internet. And
No,
even if you have really good internet, it's still subject to dropping out at times and stuff like that. So like that's the reason why like cloud gaming can be hit or miss for a consumer. So I'm
but
not I'm not 100% in
mhm.
for cloud gaming just yet.
I can see the benefits though, because again, these games look beautiful even on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the Switch isn't such a powerhouse like the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Also
So
true.
when you go to the
Yeah.
cloud, it's a little bit better or easier, I guess I should say.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Um,
How's that Google Stadia?
I I told you I would totally be using Google Stadia exclusively if I had a group of friends who would play PUBG cross platform. But no, they want to play on Xbox, so I'm stuck with the Xbox version.
Well, there you go.
I loved. Oh no, no, I will defend Google Stadia to the end of time. If I was going to college today, like
Mhm.
I would totally have Stadia or Luna for that matter,
Okay.
because I don't have to worry about lugging around a system.
All right. Fair enough.
And I never had an issue with the Stadia, even though they just announced there is a game that's coming out that is gonna be on Luna but not Stadia, which is
Oh,
weird.
that's
I forgot which one. I
interesting.
feel like it was a sports game.
Okay.
That's a little weird. I don't know.
The split is happening.
It really is. A game from the PSP era that we're going to see remade for the Switch, or yeah, I guess remade. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, the prequel to Final Fantasy VII with Zach Fair.
Wasn't he in High School Musical?
Maybe one of them.
Final. You would think the prequel to Final Fantasy VII would be
No,
Final
he was
Fantasy
in
VI.
Baywatch. Never mind.
I'll be ready. But Crisis Core. So it was on the PSP, so you never played it.
Nope.
But it's funny how, again, Final Fantasy VII just so much comes out of that game. That the definitive game apparently in the series.
Yeah. Well, it did kind of redefine well, actually not redefine, but it kind of made Japanese RPGs popular in the US.
I think it did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
That's pretty much what it accomplished.
And the PSP has such a wonderful library. I mean, there were a lot.
Yeah.
Of all the things I've sold back, I'm kicking myself in the butt for selling back the PSP.
Okay.
Again, we talked about the God of War series on it. There was a Gradius Generations, I think it was called, or Gradius something or other, series of games on there. The Castlevania games. So if you can get a PSP, folks, pick up a PSP. But luckily, we're getting a game like that coming out.
Yes.
Some GameCube games are starting to see remastered, which I believe, Tales of Symphonia remastered, I believe, was originally on there.
Well, I think I had said earlier, like all of a sudden there's this resurgence for GameCube.
Yep.
Like I think because GameCube was definitely one of the least popular Nintendo consoles.
Which, again, stinks because when you look at it, it really was good.
Well, it was a great first-party console. They did not have third-party support, and I think that's the reason why it did not do as well as its competitors at the time, which were PlayStation 2 and Xbox. But now, like again, now that it's just part of gaming history, and everybody's going back, and it's like, oh, you know what? It's like there were some really solid games on the GameCube. So now and of course now Nintendo picks up on that, and it's like, hey, let's make money on it and re-release them on the Switch.
Why not, right? Might as well get it going.
Exactly.
So another game getting a remaster, or not a remaster, but what do they call it now? The deluxe edition, which this one I'm looking forward to because I have it, I think, on the Wii, and I love it. Well, I don't think I know. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Yeah, I was actually happy when they heard that announcement because now that I've played a Kirby game, I want to play more of them.
Kirby games, Forgotten Lands on Switch is phenomenal.
Okay. Yeah, I know. No, I have to add it to my collection.
Yeah, that's the newest one. But and it was funny too because like a couple days before the Nintendo Direct, I was like thinking to myself, oh, we got Super Mario U Deluxe, and another deluxe. I forgot which one it was. But like all these remakes from the Wii and the Wii U. I wonder what could be next. And boom, here we go.
Kirby.
Return to Dreamland is a very fun, up to 4 player. It's a side-scrolling game, but definitely could be multiplayer.
Cool.
And plays heavy into multiplayer. I don't know if they'll do online multiplayer.
I
Nintendo
hope so.
is, well, yeah, but they got to fix their online because we've had some issues with it.
Yes, we have. Nintendo, wake up. Everybody
So
wants to play online. And you know what else everybody wants to do online? They want to talk to each other.
we you can just got to download the app.
Can you put it on the console?
That's just more stuff to put
ask.
inside the console.
That's all we ask.
Another remake, a collection, the Life is Strange Arcadia Bay collection is coming to the Switch.
Yeah, Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Yes, thank you. And Life is Strange. I actually started playing Life is Strange on my PlayStation at one point, and it's a very interesting game.
It is a little, I'm not going to say odd, but different.
Yeah, it's different, and I like it. I just have to go back and play it.
It's the remastered versions of Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Nice.
So, and then a couple other games coming out: Romancing Saga, Minstrel Song remastered, Fall Guys Season 2. That's going to be dropping. What was the other one I wanted?
Wow, they're really behind. That's right, because Fall Guys was delayed on there.
Fall Guys, it's
because I think they just dropped Season 6, I believe. It may be Season 6 on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Well, they just got the Switch.
Or or am I thinking? Or I may be thinking of Rocket League. I get them confused sometimes.
So again, a lot of big hitters, but this is the one right here, in my opinion, that I think was really cool. Update to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for the N64.
Yes, more games on the Switch Online.
And the Switch Online, I swear to it, the NES collection, Super NES, the Genesis, phenomenal collections. Yep. The N64 is great. You just have to have the controller, unfortunately. And I also got to learn that this thing is hooked up to my table, so I got to be careful with that.
Yes.
So the game's
you've been shaking.
I know.
It's been like an earthquake.
I just noticed it
on this episode.
So the additional games coming out over the next 2 years, well, this year and next year, we're getting Excite Bike 64, Pilot Wing 64.
Yay! I know how much you love that game.
I just was bored with it. That's all. I'm not saying it's bad. I was just bored with it.
No, I enjoyed it a lot.
1080 Snowboarding, which I'm actually looking forward to.
That was a fun game.
I never played it, but I've always wanted to play it.
Super fun. Really,
did you own it?
I rented it a bunch.
Okay, fair enough.
Did not own it.
Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, and Mario Party 3.
Great, with one caveat. No online multiplayer.
But see, there should be, though, because
I hope you can.
No, because the Nintendo 64 allows for online multiplayer.
Oh, okay. Well, then all right. So is it just natural that they allow it?
Yeah, the announcement that I know you're getting at, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Yes.
I don't know why they did that, because it's kind of already inherent that it's going to be like that.
Okay. Yeah, because that confused me, because it made me think that the other ones don't have it.
Very weird. Yeah, very odd. Because we can play we can play multiplayer on like the NES games. So yeah. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, which is already getting some heat.
Cool.
And the biggest announcement, because as always they're like, oh, and there's one more thing coming to the N64. You get that iconic gun barrel going across the screen. GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64.
I thought you were going to announce the South Park game.
Fine. Not yet. Soon.
Well, which one? Snowballs at turkeys.
Oh my gosh!
It was basically the original one, which was really ugly.
It was tough.
Yes.
GoldenEye 007 finally making its way to the N64 collection.
Yes, with online multiplayer.
Yeah, specifically with online.
Like they had to point that out, and that's what confused me.
So here's what I think they mean by that. So with the original GoldenEye, which got a lot of us through college, with the original GoldenEye, excuse me, you would play the 4-player multiplayer, but you saw everyone's screen. It was quartered. It was quadrants, whatever you want to call it, quartered. I guess now, like, you'll have your own screen, because I can't imagine them doing the 4 quadrants and you can still see the other 3.
Right.
Though I would not. That would not bother me. I think that'd be very old school. But I'm imagining it's just like you have your screen and you can't see what everyone else is doing.
You can't see anybody else's. So now the playing field is finally level.
Oh, that was total strategy. To be like, I'm up here, and I'm like, all right, where's that guy
Where is that
going?
person?
Okay, yeah, exactly. Also announced though, so here's the thing with GoldenEye that obviously wasn't announced on the Nintendo Direct.
Right.
GoldenEye 007 is also coming out on the Xbox.
Yes, it is.
And from what I understand, if you have a copy of Rare Replay on the Xbox, which is actually an awesome game.
Yes.
But if you have a copy for Rare Replay, GoldenEye 007 is going to be a free additional game to it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
Because
totally. It's not
I have Rare Replay. I just don't know if I have it for PlayStation or Xbox.
it should only be for Xbox.
Oh, then I definitely have it.
Because Rare is owned by Xbox.
Oh, okay.
So
then I definitely have it for Xbox.
So from my understanding, if you own the game, you're going to get the game for free. I think you're also going to get it if you're Xbox Game Pass. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the question that I bring to you, Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Would you rather play the nostalgic? Now, forget about any situations of maybe emulator or, oh, what's going to get screwed up on the game. Let's assume the game works perfectly.
Yes.
Do you choose the nostalgic 007 N64 version on the Nintendo Switch? You know, assuming you have the Nintendo N64 controller for the Switch.
Right.
Or do you want to play the same game on Xbox, 4K resolution upgraded?
Ooh.
You know, runs smoother, you know, runs for a modern system. Right. So do you go new school or do you go old school, assuming the gameplay is the same? Also taking into consideration, it's an N64 controller versus an Xbox controller.
Well, since I've never played GoldenEye, dun dun dun.
Like
I don't.
One of three people in the world.
I know. Seriously. Since I've never played GoldenEye because first-person shooters give me headaches.
One of like two people in the world.
Yes, I know. Hey, look. You know what? You know what? And they never put a warning symbol. You know, warning text before any game for us poor people that get
not
bad
back
headaches.
Then. Now
no, but even now, like, no, they don't. It's all about people who have seizures. It's just only seizures. It's like, oh,
that is true.
Yeah, you may develop a seizure because this is light sensitive. Hey, how about us poor headache people?
You migraine sufferers.
Yeah, us migraine sufferers don't get any type of warning whatsoever.
I don't remember.
Basically, it's like you guys are screwed.
I don't remember Different Strokes doing an episode about someone with a migraine as opposed to someone with epilepsy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know what? We can have a stroke too.
I guess so.
But anyway,
the more you know.
Anyway, what I was trying to say was, since I've never played it on the N64, I don't know what it's like to play it with the N64 controller.
Okay.
Therefore, that doesn't weigh into my decision anymore.
Wow. Okay.
What weighs into my decision is, do I want the original retro look or do I want a remastered look? And to be honest with you, because that era of gaming, when you go back and play it, it's kind of rough. Like if you go back and if you play PlayStation games and 64 games, like the blockiness of them, it's very hard to watch. I would probably lean towards the Xbox one, but with one question, because this was something else that came out of the Nintendo Direct. They made it sound like the GoldenEye Xbox version does not have online multiplayer.
I feel like that's going to be a given that it's going to have online multiplayer.
That it will, right? But they made it sounded like it didn't. And if that's the case, I would definitely go with the Switch one.
I feel like the whole online multiplayer thing is only because GoldenEye was such an amazing multiplayer game. Yeah. Like they're hitting the nostalgia of it. Because I just remember in college, getting not more than 4 people in the room because we take turns.
Yeah.
Just playing this game hours on end. The different prison rules, meaning, hey, you're still going to get shot if you don't have a weapon. The golden gun games, 1 shot, 1 kill. Oh, right. All the different tournaments. I mean, between that and the Pokemon Puzzle League, those are the 2 games that got me through all 4 years of college. But,
not classes.
Not as much, no. At least not 1 year.
Games.
Not 1 year. But just how GoldenEye is just so. The game itself is phenomenal, but it was the multiplayer that really stuck out, and probably one of the first. I'm not saying the first, but one of the first big couch co-op multiplayer games. As I talk louder and louder. Yes. So I think, and excuse me, I can see what you're talking about as far as since you never played it before, so you don't have that nostalgic feeling. I always go back to the Nintendo the NES Mini when I booted up the NES Mini for the first time, and I put the scan lines on the TV, and like it almost slapped me in the face and knocked me out of the couch. The nostalgia that hit me
Yes.
when I'm like, wow, this is how I remember it. So I like the blockiness, and I have the N64 controller. To me, the only way to play the game is with an N64 controller. Where now my question is going to be this: do they keep, because in the game, and I'm talking about the original N64 game, and it was there since day one, but no one knew it till like 2 years ago, you were able to play GoldenEye twin stick with two N64 controllers.
Yep.
Everyone's so used to playing with the one, but you could have played with two, and it was right in the options. No one deep dove into it. So now my dilemma is, do I buy a second N64 controller for the Switch just to play it in that fashion?
Well, considering that you have like 10,000 Joy-Cons, I don't think it's much of a question. You're gonna buy a second N64
I sold a couple
controller.
back.
Uh-huh.
Literally,
Wow.
I did. A couple. Two.
Yeah, two.
So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, GoldenEye 007, big news, whether it's the Xbox or the Nintendo version. Oh, this also, I think this is big for third party for Nintendo. Because again, not a lot of heavy third party games. It's not like we're seeing any Turtle games on these collections.
No, like this is the first time I feel like they're really they've decided to go with a major heavy hitting third party game that they had. Yep. Which is a good sign, because maybe there'll be more.
Maybe, totally. So we'll see what happens. Then there was some other game, some sequel that came out. So the
let's
Nintendo Direct.
Let's get to the biggest news of Nintendo.
I mentioned Direct. 007.
No, it's bigger than 007.
All right, I'll say it. I'll mention it.
You have to. You have to. You're like a journalist now. You can't avoid these things.
Nintendo showed some more gameplay and announced the title. A title very fitting, because when I played the first game, these just poured out of my eyes. But the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and look, it's gorgeous. The game looks gorgeous. And it is officially titled The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, dropping May of 2023.
May 10th, 2023.
May 10th, 2023.
I believe it's May 10th.
Yes.
Yes. Definitely the biggest announcement of Nintendo Direct, no question about it, because obviously Legend of Zelda, one of the most iconic franchises in video gaming history, period. So it's only a matter of time. And actually, I think they said this might have been the longest gap between Legend of Zelda games since the original came out in 86. Because we're talking, essentially, when this one drops, it will have been 6 years since Breath of the Wild came out. Yeah, 6 years.
I guess
so that's well, and again, think about the gap. You have to talk about, like, because there would be console games, there would be handheld games. We haven't seen another Zelda game on anything.
No, it's been a while. You're right. No, you're right.
Breath of the Wild. So yeah, so 6 years. This is the longest gap between Zelda games. And I will say, the trailer got me very excited. The game looks stunning, which is a no-brainer considering the last one looked stunning. And the idea of it being a continuation.
Yes.
Of Breath of the Wild is awesome, because a lot of the Zelda games they don't really continue, and the Zelda timelines are all messed up.
Ooh,
they're really messed up. They're like, yes, they are Kingdom Hearts screwed. But or maybe what's a good movie reference for it? It's like, pick your franchise, like Halloween or whatever it is, where they go through different timelines. We went through this before.
Oh boy, did we?
Yes, that was a fun episode. I still love that episode. But anyway, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, and there was some controversy when they showed the trailer, because people weren't sure if it was Tears of the Kingdom or Tears.
Tears of the Kingdom sounds so stupid.
No, but again, like, I understood the rationale behind Tears, because you see the castle lift up off the ground, and then you're in the air, and there are these different pieces of ground in the air. So it was like, oh, did the world tear apart?
But wouldn't it be Tears in the Kingdom then?
Could be Tears of.
I don't know. I,
In, I don't
I
know.
immediately thought Tears.
Yeah. No. I mean, Tears was what I thought of
Yeah.
originally too, because
And it
Tears.
was smart.
Well, not only that, but Tears have been in Zelda games before. Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Tears
Mm.
are actually part of the system, like
Okay.
the gameplay. So it made more. Yes, Tears did make the most sense, and Nintendo actually had to come out and say, "No,
Yeah.
for anybody who's wondering, it's Tears, not Tears. This is what we get in the English language when we spell a word one way and it can mean two different things. Why our language is
Oh,
so complicated."
what a minute situation.
Yes, but anyway, see, done. But yeah, game looks phenomenal. Really excited about it. If you haven't seen the trailer, go see the trailer. It definitely hypes it up well enough, and it may actually get Larry to go back and play Breath of the Wild because it was awesome.
I can't wait to see how they updated the cooking mechanics. Ooh, can I put a little dash of salt now in here?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's gonna be something new. I don't need to survive in a video game. I just want to get from A to B. That's it.
You have no concept of open world gaming.
Please. Fun fact: the last
Zero.
record here for longest gap in between games, in between original games, not talking remakes and HD versions, stuff like that. If I'm doing my math correctly, which Lord knows I'm not. Link's Awakening and then Ocarina of Time, 93 to 98.
Oh, so that was 5 years.
Yeah. So that was the longest gap before.
Yeah, so we have now, we've got a new record, 6 years.
So,
and,
all right. So,
yeah, but really, really great. Definitely like Nintendo. To me, Nintendo had a more solid announcement.
They do. They're more interactive,
but,
even though they're not live.
Yeah, but also, like to your point, their directs are further apart than
they are
plays.
Because they also sometimes like they'll do a Pokemon direct, or they might do later on a Zelda direct. You know what I mean? Like a specific direct. And also, you know, I love how upfront they are with stuff. Like again, going back real quick, then we'll wrap this up. Going back to the where is it? Nintendo Switch Sports. Golf was supposed to already come out, but they're like, hey, look, we need more time.
Yep.
You know, they did it with, I mean, they did it with Metroid Prime 4, which I think is all but shut down. Yep. But at least they'll tell you, like, hey, look, we need more time. So, look, we're just going to tell you the way it is.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I mean,
no,
needing more time
happen.
to make perfection like Breath of the Wild is okay.
You know,
and now Tears in the Kingdom.
Yeah. Maybe they allow. Can I use my stick maybe 2 more times now before it breaks on me?
I don't know. You know what? Somebody needs to beat you with a stick.
Please. In any event, so that's it on Nintendo Direct. Again, a lot to talk about. You can go check out the Nintendo Direct. Too much to talk about. Yep. But in bottom line, which you kind of already answered, but I'm just going to ask you anyway. Who do you think had the better, Sony or Nintendo?
Of these two, I would probably say Nintendo did have a better one. Okay. But I mean, Sony was nothing to laugh at.
Oh, no. So. Sony was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So.
All right. So I think we can get ready to wrap this up, but we'll be right back in one moment. All right, we're going to get ready to bring this one in, but we got a couple of news stories to talk about. So, what do you got?
Yeah, light news week for retro gaming, except for what came out of Nintendo Direct and State of Play, if you want to
honestly
run through those. But, yeah, so a few things. One, you were talking about GoldenEye and Switch Online and potentially playing with 2 N64 controllers for that. Well, you'll be happy to know that the Switch Online N64 controllers are back in stock for purchase.
Ooh,
so I know they do sell out a lot. So I still don't have one because I don't have the expansion pack online. But maybe I'll grab one now before they go out of stock again. I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, a little bit of news there. Another thing, also with the Switch Online expansion pack, they just recently dropped 3 new Sega Genesis games into the collection,
which is, I find it, I mean, I guess not funny. Maybe it was decided after they put together the Direct, because again, Direct wasn't live, but this wasn't part of the Direct, and it was dropped like just a few days later.
No, they were just kind of dropped as an afterthought. I don't know.
They do that a lot with Genesis.
And I think that's the reason why it wasn't part of the Direct, because it's like they were Sega Genesis games, and I don't think they like to give Sega the fanfare that they give their own stuff. So, but anyway. So if you have the Switch Online expansion pack, you can now play these 3 Genesis games: Alicia Dragoon,
Okay.
Beyond Oasis, and probably the most well-known one and very popular game, Earthworm Jim.
Yes, groovy.
Yes.
Great game. Great game.
Yeah. When was the last Earthworm Jim game?
Well, it was supposed to be a direct sequel for a little system that apparently is not going to be coming out anytime soon. But the last legit, I think like they did like an Earthworm Jim HD on like the 360 and the PS3.
Oh, interesting.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been quiet for a while.
Oh yeah.
But you can go back and play the original Earthworm Jim if you have the Switch Online expansion pack. And then the last bit of news I have, because again, it was seemed like a pretty slow news week unless I missed stuff. But the Polymega recently announced that there's a software update, or there's a system software update coming out this week. Right, okay. This episode drops on Tuesday, coming out this week. So if you have a Polymega, you're going to want to download the system software update because it's going to include a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to run through a few things really quickly. The most important one, they are adding the full Nintendo 64 game catalog to their database because
they're getting ready.
Yep, they're getting ready because that N64
module
piece is coming out. Thank you. Module is coming out. Disk drive games not included.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, just the regular N64 cartridge catalog. They are adding Sega Saturn MPEG VCD card support for game titles which feature MPEG functionality.
Cool.
Which is good. This one's fun. They're adding cheat code support for Game Shark, Action Replay, and the ever popular Game Genie.
Game Genie.
You'll be able to put in Game Genie cheat codes into your old games.
Did you ever have a Game Genie?
I did.
I think I did. I don't remember.
Wait. Maybe
I think I did.
I thought I did because I remember getting it, I think, for like Mega Man games.
Well, if anything needed that, I guess it would be Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man was definitely one. They have and then a bunch of other like tech software updates, like they added a progress bar for patching CD games when CD games aren't working correctly. Added 720p video output support. I guess there was some issues. Good. Yeah, I guess there was some issues with that. They added game time played tracker for each game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so now you can find out just how long you have spent playing a game.
How long have you been playing South Park?
Forever. Actually, I think I'm done with it now. All DLC, 100% completed.
No. I meant the old South Park.
Oh, the old
South Park. Because we're talking to Polymega. Yeah.
30 seconds. Let's see. Added a new mark is completed option to the game management screen. Because there's an issue. When a game gets done copying, it doesn't tell you.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, so it's like you have to just go back and see that it's done.
Okay.
There's some new screensavers that they added.
Cool.
If you like the screensaver stuff, you can remove individual games from the continue playing row. So they have like a row of like recently games played. So if you just want to lose it,
I hate like there's certain streaming services that don't do that. It just drives me nuts.
Yep. And then they fixed some bugs in there. One of the bugs was actually with the NES Zapper.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, there was an issue with the NES Zapper. They resolved it now where certain games could not use the second player because the Zapper was enabled.
Interesting.
So they fixed that issue and a bunch of other bugs. But cool. So there's a Polymega update coming. That's really it for Retro News this week. So
you don't have any of the modules, right?
No, I just have the CD based one. I have a friend though who has all the modules, so I've already talked to him about like hey, can I just borrow your modules to copy my games over? So I may do that one day. But I will say this. I'm very interested in getting the N64 module.
Okay.
Because N64 is one of the only consoles where I don't have any other way to play those games except with the N64.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Like in other words, like I have the Retro Freak for my cartridge stuff, and now I have the Polymega for my CD stuff.
True.
So, yeah.
Would you need the module to play the Nintendo games? Okay.
No, because as soon as you put the cartridge in the module, it pops up on your Polymega menu,
Yeah.
and then you have the option to copy it to the hard drive. And I've already have I think I forgot if I put in a 1 or a 2 terabyte drive into it. So it would just, yeah. So literally
Okay.
every CD game I own now is just copied over.
Which is good. All
So
right.
yeah, so I can just play it straight off.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's it for retro news. And then I just had one other thing to talk about
Okay, yeah, why not?
before we close, and it was a comment I made very early in the show where I was saying how we switched places and I'm becoming a little spendthrifty.
Yeah.
So I have officially purchased a new console. Because I got my email last week that my Steam Deck,
Hey,
that I put $5 down for a pre-order, and they were like, your Steam Deck is available, and I was like, you know what? I'm not sure I want to spend that kind of money just yet. And then they basically said you basically have 72 hours to decide, or you're not,
or we blowing one up,
or we cancel it. So guess what I did?
You got yours on your way.
I purchased my Steam Deck, and I'm very excited about it because,
awesome.
like I said, I've been buying a lot more stuff on Steam. Just to be honest with you, because it's been economical. And so I'm actually looking forward to getting the Steam Deck and being able to play my Steam games on a handheld. And not only that, but hooking it up to my TV.
Oh, that's right. You can hook it up to the TV. I forgot about that.
Yes,
Damn
you
it.
Can.
Shoot.
It's basically like a Switch for your PC.
It really
gaming.
is.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll have to look into that for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
write a letter to Santa.
Yes. So one thing I recommend for your Steam, and I think they're also going to start making them for the Switch. For the Switch, I've always had an issue. Like I have the real quick when I take my Switch out on the road, I have like the zipper. I think we have the same carrying case. Or same type of carrying case for the Switch.
Yeah.
And it always feels weird when I go to try and take the Switch out. I don't know if you do this. I got to grab it by the Joy-Con, like by the thumb stick to kind of take it out. And it always drives me a little nuts. You know, if you lay it down the wrong way, you know, drift or whatever. And this is for you, for everyone. I've purchased from this site. They're awesome. I love what they have. It's a site called Glisto. Glistco. Glisto.com. And just real quick, if I may, I'm just going to share the screen real quick because it's basically so here we go.
It's a Joy-Con lock.
It's a lock for the Joy-Con that protects the thumbstick for when, I think it's magnetic, you know, for when you're not using the game. So like just in case, like say one of your cats sits on it, I'm just, you know, being real. You know, it doesn't, you know, cause the thumbstick to lean in one direction. You know, it looks, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's stupid, but if you think about it, it's the only part of the system that sticks out.
No. And I agree with that because I find when I take my console out of the travel case, like because it's like a netting thing, like it'll pull on the Joy-Con.
They got this battery strap.
Nice.
I guess to keep the battery locked in. They got some other things here for the Steam Performance and Protective Kit, kind of like thumb grips or whatever.
Oh, nice.
No, this site, I'm telling you this, I'm pretty sure, I think I have a, what do they call it? Like an affiliate with it, but I got to double check. Like here, like with the PS5, they got these skates that you can put the PS5 to lift it so it gets better airflow. Really nice. Or you can put it underneath your desk. Yep. So check it out. Again, we're not getting, it's just a site that I love. Glisto.com, Glistco.com.
Okay, cool.
So definitely check all that out.
Nice.
And with that, I'm going to make you edit now. With that, we're going to wrap this up. I forgot. Excuse me. So we're done. You want to give them one more time where to find us and where to give us 5-star reviews, thumbs up, you know, just share. Wherever you go, share the podcast, hit the like, give us 5 stars, and where can they find us one more time?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com. And as Larry said, We welcome all the five-star reviews, or even just your reviews. Like, tell us what you think. What do you like about the show? Email us suggestions. Like,
Absolutely.
what do you want to hear on our show? Like, is there a specific game you want us to talk about, or a console? Just anything like that.
Questions. Maybe want to get our ideas on something. Definitely, we love the interaction.
Yes, if you want our professional perspective on games that came out before you were born or when you were a toddler, like we did. We played them back then. Just hit us up.
All right, and with that, we'll call it a day. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. You have yourself a very good week.
I will. You as well. And folks, we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.